She has the cutest eyes, but she's the devil. This is something that somebody said to me, and I just thought that this phrase was just so interesting, wasn't it? And because I feel like this is exactly the nature of the devil. You know, there was this girl, right? I'm going to start off heavy with this one. There was this girl, I don't know if I can't remember the name of her channel, but her video title was Obama is the cutest war criminal. And I thought, this is so true. Like, this whole like art of deception, a big part of it obviously is you will entertain, you will even let something or someone hurt you if you perceive them to be cute or whatever. Like, this is why us women get away with vicious behaviors, right? And that was the irony of it all, right? Like I said, I've talked about all these different wicked women in the, we need to do the wicked women of 2024, don't we? Submit your ideas in the comment section, guys. We're doing the Wicked Women of 2024. And if you don't know what that's about, check out the Wicked Women of 2023, because we got a lot of women up for the top 10 this year. Oh my gosh, yeah. So Wicked Women of 2024, guys. Get your ideas in the comments. I've just thought of one I cannot forget. Sorry, I have to write this down because... Okay, my pen's not even writing. Okay, that's enough. I can finish that afterwards. Anyway, now, when this phrase was said to me, this is just, so the wicked women, like I said, so we've got like, you know, the Kris Jenners, the mothers, the like, because she's such a loving mom, you know, we care about my children and my kids and like, you know, making sure whatever. And then you had Oprah as another one who's on the scene now and everyone's all like, oh my gosh, loving mother, all of this, yeah. But then we're starting to realise that there's a lot of people who, these people are into some pretty heinous things, starting to see some really interesting stuff on these tapes and all sorts, right? Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to say to you guys. And the irony of all of this and the fact that I'm specifically talking about women and the deception of femininity. If you guys have never watched that video, you should watch it. It's one of my best videos. It's probably like 3 years old now. The deception of femininity. And I talk in there about how, you know, the nature of us as women, because we're seen as nurturers and we're seen as the, you know, all of that. Men and women are inclined to trust women more than men, you know what I mean, in general. Henceforth, why I like the job I do teaching, it's more, there's a lot more women, female teachers than male teachers, although a lot of male teachers are fantastic as well, as you guys know. Then again, I won't get into all of that, but my academic staff at my university, my four main lecturers, those men were the best academic staff ever in all of history, after the Holy Spirit, of course. But yeah, so and there's this like trusting that like if you're a woman and you're a nurturer and you play up to that the cuteness disguises the evil. And do you know what's so funny? Let me tell you who actually said this and what the circumstance was. So I was in during one of my lessons, right? And it's one of the new kids that I'm doing lessons with. So this kid has a cat, right? And you guys know I don't like cats, okay? Because they remind me of women, and I'm a woman, so I know what we're capable of. So that's why I don't like cats, and I don't like... it's not that I hate women. It's that I am aware of our true capabilities because I am one, if that makes sense. So my guard is up in the same way that if I'm... And also, I prefer my risks with men, honestly, than with women. Because with men, the risks are some kind of what? Physical type of... I don't know. Abuse maybe. Okay, I'll heal eventually. My physical wounds are way easier to heal than emotional ones. In women, psychological warfare. I don't need it. You know, swaying the jury of the sheeple by playing into the character. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just such a little victim from her. Yeah, so I way prefer my odds with whatever the worst can happen from a man than whatever the worst is that can happen from a woman. And that might be surprising. Maybe that for me, because I've been through both, I can assure you that all of the physical, any physical types of abuses that I've suffered, I've healed from all of them. The emotional ones still seem to have a whole lot we're working with. So, in my lesson, this kid has a cat. Now, I'm not really that familiar with cats because I tend to avoid them, even though they love to follow me when I'm outside, and I hate it. And to the extent, I think I told you guys, the video is down now. Maybe I'll put it back up just to show you. But I had a video because there was the cats and the foxes were hanging around together is it the last place I lived in London? Yeah, it was the last place. The last flat I lived in London, these cats used to gather around outside the door, and I mean 4 of them. And then they also used to hang around with the foxes. It was really creepy and really weird. And they would like walk around and they would be outside the door always when I would come, and they would just be like looking at, oh, it was creepy. It was creepy as heck. Creepy. Anyway, don't like them, right? Because as I've said, people, they get away with everything. They get away with biting people. I've been bitten by cats a few times, or scratched, clawed by cats. But what do? We just continue on with our day. A dog bites somebody. Oh, we got to put the dog down. How does that work? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So this kid was playing, this kid's cat kept interrupting the lesson, right? And just kept doing all sorts of things, like, you know, jumping all over him, walking across the computer, like picking up and moving things that he was using, knocking over the Christmas tree, and then biting him and like all this stuff. And I was thinking, this is insane. Because you see dogs, yeah? Because when I heard the other day somebody talking about their cat and how their cat, when they want their attention in the middle of the morning, scratches at the door until they open the door. Who the hell do you think you are? You're my pet. You better sit the freak down. Ain't no scratching on. I don't know how people do this. People who have cats like really just don't mind somebody else like terrorizing them. So one of my friends, she likes cats, but to be fair, she's also the most nurturing person I've ever met in my entire life. So it would be her who liked a cat, you know what I mean? Because she would be more than happy to tolerate all of that. So anyway, he then kept saying, she's cute, but she's evil. She's so cute, but she's evil. And he kept saying she's a demon. Like all this stuff about his cat. So I was thinking, and obviously I'm using this as an analogy for us in society, right? This whole picture. I'm here, we're trying to do something. This cat is bothering you. You love this cat and you're holding on to this cat and you're looking after this cat and you're loving on this cat, but this cat is hurting you. And this cat is hurting you repeatedly. And you can tell me that she's evil. And you're literally saying that this cat is evil, but she's cute. And the cuteness means, oh, we're going to just tolerate it, right? Now, obviously, he's just a kid and it's just a cat. But what I'm trying to say is this is a greater example of what I'm trying to show you guys is the picture of the society that we live in and the illogical way of being that we are, which is that we'll acknowledge that something is bad for us. We'll acknowledge that something is hurting us. Heck, we may not even be acknowledging that something is hurting us, that it's that's hurting us, but we'll be acknowledging that we're getting hurt. And yet we'll continue to entertain it just because it's cute. It's just like Adam and Eve. Let's go back. Where's the Bible? Where's the Bible? It's just like Adam and Eve. Oh yeah, because I don't feel well. I forgot I wasn't feeling well. Oh gosh, life is just so hard at the moment. It sounds so dramatic, but I actually feel like that. Like honestly, oh, my mental health is in the bin. Yeah, so Genesis chapter 3. So it says, so when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was elegant. Oh my gosh, see, I can't even read. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and she ate. Then the eyes of both were opened. So despite the fact that God has said, if you eat from that tree, you will die. If you eat from that tree, you will die. It was like, yeah, but it was good for food and it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was desired to make one wise. The Lord be coming through with the rhymes. Okay, Lord. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we are. This is our nature. And these are the things, like, this is why I keep talking about Adam and Eve, okay, guys? Because I really feel that we haven't graduated from the issues that are in the garden. We haven't graduated from them. We're here trying to work out other issues in the future and other problems. We haven't even solved the issues that we had there. And this is what I'm saying about these inherent things about us as humans that we have to be aware of that are working against us. Because it's this type of stuff. This is why the world is the way that it is. People wonder, how did the world figure this way out? Oh, how did we get here? Because as long as the evil is cute, you're going to tolerate that. Even if it's hurting you, even if it's hurting your loved ones, as long as it's cute. You know what I mean? And it was just such a weird picture for me to watch, like in concept, to see somebody holding and stroking and hugging this cat while at the very same time saying out from their mouth, she's cute, but she's evil. She's a demon. That was like such a weird, like these weird things happen, you know, in my life, I feel like, but it was such a weird thing to see. So all in all, to say that let's not allow evil to be cute anymore in our lives. Let's wake up, and from some of these lessons that we're learning because of all of these exposés, this, that, and the other, let's learn now that, oh, you know what? Just because somebody looks like a good person, just because I'm Mr. Beast and I'm going out and I'm giving people money and whatever, and I'm saying how I'm going to go and build some wells, I'm going to go and do this. Let's instead look at the truth of the situation. And that's why I'm a facts-related person. I like facts. I like truth. I like what's the word? Quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis and like looking at things as a whole. So for example, what am I trying to say with that? A lot of these things that we're looking at, right? Say let's use Kris Jenner, because you guys know she's literally one of my favorite to bring up, because I just can't believe that the world still is so in favor of supporting this woman. If you look at the facts were, she'd been pimping her kids for the longest. She cheated on both of her husbands, including Rob Kardashian, in which name these people are even getting this from, although she was more than happy to pick up the clout from the whole O.J. Simpson case and whatnot. So she's known to do that. She's known to move from man to man. Wherever the more money is, that's where she's headed. And the same with her kids. Since the beginning. I remember when I used to watch Keep Up with the Kardashians, and I would have been a kid. I was like maybe a young teenager, because I stopped watching it eventually, right? And it was in the very beginning, before they'd had work done. Before they had work done, when they were living in a normal looking house and all this. And I remember even then, she would favoritize whichever child was doing more for her. So because Kim was the one who was getting known, was kind of famous or whatever, because Kim was also, people do always talk about the sex tape, but Kim was also Paris Hilton's stylist. Funny story. And all of that. Oh, it's Britney Spears' birthday, I think, today as well. Yeah, so all of that. She would always prioritize whichever kid. She would always have a favorite, and the favorite was always whoever was making her the most money. And it still runs true the same to this day. She then executive produces her own daughter's sex tape and makes her daughter do it again, which is heinous. And all of this. The facts, even just there alone, are overwhelmingly in favor that this is not a good woman. And yet society, oh, but look at her and look at how cute they are. And oh, we saw the Keeping Up with the Kardashians Christmas episode, and you can see Kris, it's so nice that Kris makes sure to spend time with her grandchildren. You can see that North and Stormy love their grandma so much. And it's like, for goodness sake, people, wake the freak up. Focus on the facts. Focus on the facts. Like, this is what the devil is so good at doing. I feel like this is why the Bible says you shall have no other gods before me. Because if you have something that that is a god to you, right? Because God is the only good God. That's the thing. He's the only good God. So that's why you can idolize God, because he's not the type of God who's going to get you to do anything weird. He's a very consensual God, and he just knows better than you. He's a good father, right? These other gods, if you idolize something else, that thing then has power over you, and that thing having power over you then leads to you making stupid decisions because you're so enslaved. And that's why one of the reasons I believe God says you shall have no other gods before me. Again, we're talking now in Exodus, so I don't know why we're running off as if we've got any business talking about Revelation when we can't even do the basics, right? You shall have no other gods before me. Okay, because those gods will have a power over you. That power will take you away from focusing on the facts. Let's talk Adam. Adam is the perfect example here. Adam was lost in his wife. That bro just went along with what she said. If he had no other god before God, or if he didn't idolize anything, or nothing else had more power over him than God did, then even if Eve ate from the fruit herself, he wouldn't have eaten it as well. Or maybe he would have stopped it. Or maybe he would have killed the friggin' snake and been like, what the heck is... That's what he really should have done. He really should have done, killed that snake. Serpent. So, you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, that our issues, they all start in the what you call it? In the garden. Maybe Adam was thinking she's cute, but she's evil. No, I'm joking. She's not evil. I don't believe Eve was Eve. I don't believe Eve was Eve. Realizing that Eve is a part of evil was not good. Was not a good moment. I'm not saying I believe Eve is evil, by the way, because I believe they're both just examples of the realities of us as humans. And I believe that the reason why a lot of the Bible is written the way that it is, and the reason why God tells us why a lot of this stuff and shows us all these stories, it's to reveal to us the nature of ourselves so that we can learn what our weaknesses are as humans, right? So that we can understand why we need him. Because to me, the Bible is the book of why we need God. The Bible is the book of why you need God. Because even if you just look at it in concept, in theory, the stories, everything that you see in there, it's real life, like what we actually see in the world today. Exactly how things are. For real, right? And it shows that our ways never lead to any type of great things. It always goes downhill. And it's because of these little things. Like I said, these little behaviors that we do where we would rather tolerate evil just because it's cute, just because it's whatever. Or, you know. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. It doesn't have to be long. I've been making so many long videos. So maybe it's good if I make a shorter one. But yeah, so if there's anything to take away from this, we need to be grounded. Focus on the facts, the informationes, the truth. Most importantly, the truth. Because the truth is something that doesn't have a time. There's no negotiation around the truth. The truth is just what it is. The truth is the truth. It is. So if anything else is up for whatever. So that's why I dedicate myself to understanding what the truth is. Because if I know what the truth is, and the more I just look for the truth, and hence the fourth, the Bible, the quicker I can see the lies, or the quicker I can see things that don't make sense. Because when the Bible says to me that, you know, children are like, if anybody harms one of these young ones, they should instead of harming one of these young ones, you should take a millstone and throw yourself into the sea. Like put a millstone around you and throw yourself into the sea. That tells me that God values children. That tells me that God doesn't want children to be harmed. So when I see the harming of children, that's the truth. So when I see the harming of children, for me, there's no negotiation. There's no ifs, buffs, maybes. There's no tolerating a cute little lovely little pimp. What do you call it? Yeah, pimp. Like Kris Jenner, the pimp. It's the harm. And these girls, I actually feel for the Kardashians on even that note. I actually feel for them because I feel like Kourtney, is really getting to the age where she's really starting to think things through properly for herself. And maybe, I don't know, I'm expecting something to come of the Kardashians because I feel like, you know, they grew up in all of this and it was so normalized, and they obviously have enjoyed over the years the money, the riches, whatever. But all of that gets boring eventually, as we learned again from Solomon. So I'm saying with the Bible, Solomon had 700 wives, 300 concubines, right? He was the wealthiest and the wisest in all the land. Why do you think God mentions some of these things? Because he's like, maybe, just maybe, he had everything that everybody thinks they could want in excess of what excess is. And even that wasn't enough for him. And then he writes the whole book of Ecclesiastes that this is all a vanity. Life is a vanity. All of this is not whatever. In there, he even talks about, and this is one of my favorite things. He's like, you should work enough that you can live, but you should work enough so that you can live well, but don't be working so much that you can't actually live well as well. You know what I'm saying? And all these little things, these observable truths. So anyways, I just thought I would mention that because that was just wild. When I saw that and when I felt that, for me, it was just a picture of the world. It was a picture of how, you know, we tolerate all these things. We walk around in society, you know, entertaining the things that we know are going to hurt us. We entertain the things that we know are going to hurt us. And we do it because it's cute. We do it because it's well packaged. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, like, think about it. Think about all these things. Like, and by the way, I want to just say that I'm not judging anybody because I'm also guilty in all of this. We're all guilty here together. Okay, we're all together here guilty. And I also very much don't mind justifying doing some of these things myself because honestly, sometimes it's how I'm maintaining my sanity, you know? But it's insane the amount of things that as a society we've just accepted. Like, for example, like even just like junk food, like it's become a normal thing. We all do it. We all eat it. We all know it's bad for us, but we do it anyway. Why? Because it's always got lovely, colorful packaging, all yellow and red and all these colors, which obviously they do on purpose. They highly study what types of colors are going to get people in bright colors, the blues, the big bright pinks, and all these colors. So it sticks out. They put the fun characters. I think I believe, I can't remember what country it is in the world where they're actually not allowed to have characters on cereal boxes. I think it's, what country was it? I can't remember what country it was, but there's a country in the world where they're not allowed to have characters on cereal boxes. Like, it's these little things that we do to make something look so like inviting and enticing, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not good for you. Exactly like with us as women in makeup, like, and things like that, and our bodies and our appearance. Hey, all we have to do in this life, listen, if I wanted to be a real a real witch, because I always say I believe women are angels or witches. There's no in between. If I really wanted to move over to the witch department and be operating for the kingdom of darkness, the first thing I will do is, for an entire year, I will completely transform my appearance. I will completely transform my appearance in every way, shape, and form, and I'll be the most deceptively seductive person, but pretend that I wasn't being. And that's how I would ride through life. And it's easy. We could do that nowadays as women. Isn't that insane? Like, because based off how you look, just based off how you look alone, wields so much power in this world. Doesn't matter who you are as a person. So there's that as well. And it's absolutely insane. Even lifestyles, if you think about it. You see somebody online, they can conjure up a lifestyle if it looks good. Doesn't matter if their lifestyle looks good or whatever. You're not thinking about where it came from. You're enticed. You want to follow what they do. You want to buy what they want to buy. You want to use their discount code. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? And I feel like there's a lot of that happening this year as well, where people are like really exposing like what really went down with a lot of people that over the years had these lovely, beautiful, well-produced, these influencers who behind the scenes were horrible people. The amount of mums doing all this mom content and who are actually abusing their kids behind the scenes, or, you know, people that were actually scamming fans or scammed other people, or relationships that were fake, friendships that were fake, you know, lives that were faked and stuff like that. And it's all coming to the surface. But again, because it's just, and this is what my point is. My point is about what we see and how we perceive things really does everything to change our perspective. Oh my gosh, I'm preaching to myself. Goodness me. That's why the Bible says, trust in the Lord your God with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will make straight your path. So that's what we must do, guys. We have to trust in the Lord our God with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding, because our understanding, what we can see, why there's all this exposing going on, is because you've made judgments based on what you can see. And the whole purpose, I believe one of the purposes of Adam and Eve, was that God was trying to say that you don't have the knowledge to make the right choice. You don't know what you don't know. You think you can make a judgment based off what you know, but you don't even see what's happening in the greater scale. And that for me is where I feel like, you know, we don't really understand what we're dealing with, and why we have to trust in the Lord ultimately, because otherwise we'd be here calling evil cute and, you know, stroking and hugging onto it, even though it's literally biting us and terrorizing us and distracting us from the things that we're supposed to be doing. Yes. Anyways, you guys, if life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.